So now if you launch your Eclipse, let's create a new project for today. Let's call that, go to Package Explorer, File, New, Java projects, right? So let's say CSE214 Fall 2016 Recitation. Today is September 22nd. Okay, for example, you can do that. Okay, that's the project for today. And I'll also post whatever I type today to also help you get started. Let's create several packages. Okay, so let's say, just to make it easy, let's say we're gonna have three packages. One is going to call the app, another one called implementation, another one called tests. So we got a very complete separation of concerns. Just make it clear. Okay, new package. Let's say implementation. And then let's have another package here called that tests. Okay, let's have another one called app. Oh, that should be package, not class. Beg your pardon. Let me delete that. New package app. Okay, so we got three packages. Okay. Before I move to how you can do each of the classes, let's have a brief look at a LinkedList class in Java. So that's something that I would like you to focus on for this recitation exercise, which is a very important technique to learn from this course. You have to know how to read the API description in Java library. So if you go to your, I also posted a document PDF on the website. So there's a hyperlink at the end. So this is the link for LinkedList, which you can go to. Okay, this is a standard website. If you click on that, so this is the standard Java API for LinkedList. So the standard Java API has many library classes which you can feel free to use. They have been there for a long time, so they are relatively reliable. So you should really try to use it whenever you can. First of all, let's have a look at the class LinkedList. What does E there mean, do you think, based on what you have learned? Generic parameter, right? Okay. So in some way, it's very similar to, remember the example we saw before, like a book of E or bag of E. So it's similar idea here. So we're saying that the linked list, every element has the type E. In order to use this class here, we have to commit to what kind of type of elements we want to store in the linked list. Of course, you don't have to really understand what link really means for now. We just learn how to use it first. And we'll talk about in detail how you can do that by yourself in the lecture today. Okay, that's a linked list, and I will leave you to actually read some description over here. I'll leave that to you, because that's what you gotta do whenever you want to decide which library class to use. I'll just show you some example. And then you can see that, so we have the standard constructor for linked list. For example, this one here with no parameter. So it's going to create an empty list. Okay, that's the one we're going to use. And then you have different methods here. And you can see we have add. And you can see these two methods are overloaded, right? You can see for the add method, you can either take one parameter or two parameters. In the first version there is going to append the element to the end of the list. We're going to try both with you. And the second one is going to add the elements into a particular index. And for linked list, I believe the starting index is like array 0. Okay, so you can see many methods over there in the library. So you don't have to do that by yourself when you want to use them. Okay, you can also add first, add last, also to see if a particular object is contained in the list. And also you can also retrieve some elements or to get a particular element at a particular index. Okay, try to get familiar with the interface, all the methods here, at least to read a short description, and try to write some Java code to try them out. I'll show you how you can do it with some of them. Because for your projects, that's going to come in about 2 weeks. You have to implement mostly most of them, and then you have to also do some more. Okay, so it's good to get some preparation done before that. Okay, let me just show you how you can use the linked list just to give you some idea. Oh, let's just go to the go back to Eclipse. let's say under the tests package, let's create a new Java JUnit test. New, and then JUnit test case. Okay, hopefully you're familiar with that already. Let's call that test linked list. Okay, and as usual, you can just add the JUnit4 library to the build path for the very first time. Okay, so now let's see how we can use the linked list to get some idea. Okay, I'll just show you a few methods here that are actually quite standard. Let's say I'll just say test void test Java linked list. Okay, first of all, let's say how we can declare the linked list. Linked, you can control space on your computer. You will see the linked list from java.util. So it's worth knowing, whenever you see java.util, util here stands for utility. So I think most of the library classes we're going to learn from this course here will be from the utility package. So for your own interest, if you want to see how many classes there are, you can look into that by yourself. Okay? Everything is on the web. Okay, let's choose that linked list there. Once you choose that, you can see now java.util, that linked list is now imported to your class, right? And now we have to commit as to what kind of element type we want to have for the linked list. Let's say we want to store strings, names. So here we're going to commit to the type. So we'd say string. Okay. What about just say that's names? It's assigned to, and standard way of doing it is new linked list. Okay, that will do. It would be optional if you also want to put string inside these angle brackets here. It will also work. But if you simply leave it empty, Java compiler is smart enough to figure it out. So it's okay. Okay, so we can already write some text. So now, presumably, the names linked list now should be not null. It should be just empty. Okay. So now let's say assert true. For example, here we can say names dot. You can see once you say dot, so these are all the methods you can call on the linked list, right? So it's quite useful. Let's say we want to see the size, which we believe should be 0. Okay. So that's our very first test for the linked list. Sounds so good? Okay. Let's just do a few more to get some idea. Okay, we can already run the test. Let's go there and right click and run as JUnit test. Somehow it doesn't pass. Should be, let's see. Oh, okay. Something I forgot. Somehow it required that it should be public. Okay, just some Java constraint. It has to be public. Okay, let's do it again. And run as JUnit test. Okay, there we go. So it passed. Okay, just make sure you put it public. Okay, so in the midterm test, you will be expected to write some small text in JUnits. Of course, the exact syntax, let's say you forgot the public, you forgot about some set equals syntax, that's okay. But you have to know how to write a JUnit test in the midterm. And also, I might give you a fragment of JUnit test and ask you what's wrong with that. Okay. So that's something you really have to practice before the midterm. Okay, let's go back. So now let's go back to our Java here. Let's do a few more. Now, how do we add the elements? So let's say names dot add. Let's say Bob. Okay, so now let's do exactly what we said over here. If we add Bob into the list, because the list used to be empty, so now it should just be added to the end of the list. So now the list should contain just one element. So what can we test about it? So we can still say about the size. So now let's see here. We want to say the size should be 1. Okay. And also, you should know that this is equivalent of saying, if I say assert equals 1 names dot size, right? So these are completely equivalents. You can use either one of them. The first one is just test if the Boolean expression is true. And the second one is compare the expected value and the actual value from the method call are the same. Okay, assert equals, assert true. And let's try to see how we can test the contents of the list. So let's say, let's say assert equals. Okay, now I would expect the first element in the list to be Bob. So here I can say names dot get. Okay, so now I'm not sure if you can see that maybe from your LinkedList. You can see if you stop here, they actually show you some brief description about this method here. It's actually quite useful. Especially you can see if the index is out of the range, there will be some exception thrown. You can see if the index happens to be negative, so that means 0 is okay. So that indicates 0 can be a valid index. Okay. So 0 will be the first one. Okay. You should really also train yourself to read the description written by others. Okay, let's now try to say get 0. Let's try that. If you test again, green. On the other hand, let's deliberately make it fail. Okay. Let's see. If I say get 1, that should be index out of bound exception because we have only one element in the list. So the maximum index you will get is only 0, not 1. If you do that, you get a red bar. Okay, see, index out of bound exception. Okay, just making sure everything's working within your control. Okay, any questions so far? No? Let's try one more. Okay, and then I'll briefly talk about how you should continue with the rest, and then I'll leave them to you. Okay. Okay, let's try to do another one. So names.add. There is another version of the add method which will take an index and an elements. Okay. So now let's say we would like to add Ada. And now for Ada, we would like to add Ada after Bob. Oh, actually, Ada before Bob, right? So now, what should be the final index for Ada in the result of this? 0, right? That's what we can do. So now you can say add, because let me show you something here. Let me just put it in comments. If you say names.add Ada, if you simply say that, that's wrong. Because in that case, you're going to add Ada to the end of the list, which will not make the list sorted. So now we should do something that's more elaborate. We want to insert Ada before Bob. So let's specify the exact index you want to insert Ada into. So now we can say add Ada into index 0. Okay, let's try that. And now let's assert something. Let's just copy this. Okay, now the size of the list should be 2. And now at index 0, it should be Ada. And at index 1, it should be Bob. So the list is now sorted. Okay. Yep, green bar. Okay, just want to make sure everybody is okay. Any questions about how to use LinkedList? So I'm just showing you the most common method about how to insert, how to test the size. You can also see how to remove as well in the LinkedList. You can certainly try. Yeah, they should be tested in a similar way. So I would say every time when you're trying to learn a new library class, always create a JUnit test so you can really try to see how you can use them. In some way, the test I have here is a good documentation for you. So rather than just writing in English, you can see exactly what's to be expected. Right? That's also some technique you want to learn. So writing JUnit test is not just for the sake of testing the correctness of your code, but also to learn how to use new library classes. Okay. So there are many purposes for JUnit tests. Okay, let's just spend 5 more minutes, and then we'll take 5 minutes break. Okay, now just show you what you should do for the rest. Can we just create a new class under implementation here? So new and class over here. So now let's call that name sorter. Okay, so over here, name sorter. So first of all, we're going to implement this particular class using a Java linked list. So we're going to declare an attribute of that particular type. Okay, so let me show you how you can do. We can say private linked list. So it's going to be imported, and since we're going to do name, so you can say string. Just call it names. So that's the attributes. Just call it privates. Okay. So let's now do the constructor together. Okay. So now you can say public and name sorter. And what we should do is to initialize an empty list. So you can say names is assigned to new linked list. As we learned before, this is going to initialize a new empty list of names. So that should be the correct behavior. Okay. So now let's also put the signature for the two methods that which I'll leave you to implement. So we have two methods here. The first one is called insert, which is a mutator. So void insert string name. Have a new name. Okay, I'll put a comment for you. You can do this. Okay. What you can do is you can put / and star and then enter. So just a better comment style. Okay. Well, you can choose between the two. Okay. Insert name into names such that the list of names remains in sorted order. Okay. And in Java, you can do things like this. If you have two strings, S1 and S2, you can simply compare them using less than or greater than, which means in terms of alphabetic order. It is already defined. That's what you use. Okay, that's about insert, which I'll leave them to you. And there are some hints on the handouts which you should really try to follow. And then that's really what the insertion sort is about. Okay, you should really keep looking for where would be the right spot to insert. Okay, and the second method would be to get the names. Okay, so you would say get the list, the sorted list of names. Okay, let's just put it down. String here. So somehow I'll just give you a hint in a moment. Get names. Okay, let's see what we should return. So somehow we have to declare some string array that's to be returned. Let's say to return and new string array of certain size. And the size should be the same as the linked list you're trying to maintain privately, right? So now you would say names.size. Eventually, it will just return to return. However, there's something missing that should be put in the middle. So somehow you have to iterate through the linked list, which you have to see how you can do that by seeing the API. Somehow you have to iterate through the linked list and put the contents gradually into the array. That should be rather easy because the way you access the element in the linked list, you can do just by using index. Okay, I'll put it here. Iterate through the names and gradually copy each element into to return. Okay, I'll leave that to you. Okay, so these two methods should be used rather easy to implement. Okay, so I'll leave it to you. So I think in the midterm, maybe not in the quiz, in the midterm you can expect yourself to write a method like this. Okay, so you really have to practice. Okay, but once if you really get stuck, you want to check your answer, just make an appointment with me. I'll go over them with you. We just don't have time in the class or presentation. But definitely make time with make an appointment with me if you need help. Or go to the tutorial hours. Okay, one more thing, and then we'll take a break. So now, one more class to create. Two more, actually. I'll create them with you. Under app class, we're going to have new, and then class. Let's call that name sorter app. And we do need a main method here. Okay, just click the main method there and finish. Name sorter app. Okay, and we don't need a constructor there. Just get rid of that. Just the main method. So under this main method here, you're going to write a while loop and keep prompting the user for names, which this pattern should be quite familiar from 114, right? And the way to read the input is by using a scanner objects. Okay, scanner, control space. You can see scanner is also found utility. Input new scanner system.in. Okay, that's one thing you will need. And also, in this class, as I said in the diagram, we're going to use the name sorter that we developed, right? So we also need a variable here. So name sorter. I say ns new name sorter. So I'll say in your, so control space, make sure you import that. Name sorter. Give me a moment. Name sorter, yeah. Just make sure you type name sorter here, so it's also import because it exists in a different package. Okay. Name sorter. Okay, so in your code, you should call the get names and insert methods on ns when necessary. Okay, that's a hint too. Okay, that should be rather easy to do. Okay, that's what I want to say about this class. And one more, just about how you can create a JUnit test for name sorter. And then we're done. Okay, let's go to Package Explorer, and then let's create another class under tests. Right click and new Java test case, JUnit test case. Let's call that test name sorter. Okay, and that's it. Okay, just put all your tests about the name sorter class, how you can test insert in different scenarios, how you can test the get names in different scenarios. Okay. It would be quite a worth doing exercise, I would say. Try to complete as soon as possible before next Tuesday. I'll try to release assignment 4 either Monday evening or Tuesday morning, so you can get started with that. Any questions? Okay, let me check the time. It's now about 9:32. Okay, just 5 minutes break. Okay, make sure you come back in 5 minutes, and then we'll do our lecture.